Welcome to Talk the Thrones Live. Thank you so much for coming out. Look at all of you.
My goodness.
I'm Chris Ryan. This is Mallory Rubin. This is Joanna Robinson. We host Talk the Thrones on various Ringer platforms.
That's right.
Most notably House of R and Ringerverse. It's great to be here with everybody tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about the larger Game of Thrones universe for a bit and some House of the Dragon Season 2 stuff. Joe and I will give a detailed plot synopsis of Episode 3. And then we are going to play some games and answer some questions. It's so great for you all to come out. Hi. How's it going?
Oh, hi.
Why don't we start with a little bit of a chat about Game of Thrones? How about that? Because in the last 10 days or so...
Wait, what's that?
What's that?
Of
Game of Thrones?
Okay.
It's a spinoff of The Acolyte. And so...
Andy's favorite show?
Yeah.
We're doing this for Andy?
actually right here. He's just invisible. But we're going to start with a watch-esque topic in that where are we at with the franchise? Because in the last 10 days, they announced Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which is
some casting for it.
There's some casting.
Really.
There was an on-set picture, some behind-the-scenes stuff.
Dunk. Your guy Dunk.
It's for real happening.
Sir Dunk in the Tall.
Is that Chris's guy?
I think he will be.
I like the egg
I think he will be.
more.
You're going to see
You're
Dunk
more of
in
an-
action. You're going to
you
see
don't
he
think-
could
you
play
don't
for
think-
my beloved Oilers.
You don't think Chris is more of an egg guy?
No.
Okay.
No.
So that's
No.
that's an adaptation of Dunk and Egg, these novellas that George R. R. Martin did write.
Yes.
And completed.
No.
Are you serious?
Listen.
He's written
There
3.
are 3 that are completed. So if they decide to do 3 seasons,
Yes.
How can he
those
keep
are
getting
done.
away with this?
Well, I mean...
well, it's just they're sort of standalone adventures.
Yes.
So he could
I
be
can
done.
half write a story. I do that all the time.
each of the seasons of Dunk and Egg, which we will be calling it Dunk and Egg,
Right.
even though it is not called Dunk and Egg, is going to be based on one of the existing novellas. So, in theory, by the time we get through 3 seasons of that show,
No.
he could have written a 4th.
No.
Will we get to the 11
Mallory,
that
no.
he promised us one day? It probably depends on how
No.
good the Jets end up
I think we're
being.
going to get 3 seasons of this show.
What do you think his daily to-do list looks like?
Are you familiar with Not a Blog?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Does
He
he
has
say,
long posts on
It's
there
like-
about Daniel Jones
It's
and
like
the quarterback play for the New York
But
Giants.
how much is it
Yeah.
football talk and how much is it wolf talk?
A lot of wolf talk, a lot of football talk, a lot of conventions.
Yeah.
You know, he's hard at work, and I believe still that we will get at least a 4th, and I'm going to say a 5th Dunk and Egg. Will we get 6, 7, etc.? Probably
but he's
not.
got to finish Game of Thrones,
We're
right?
going to get Winds of Winter. We're going
There's
to get
also
Winds of Winter.
there's supposed to be another Fire and Blood as well.
Oh, the history one?
Fire, Blood, Volume 2.
Fire and Blood Volume 2, Winds of Winter.
Winds of Winter. I don't think we'll be getting Dream of
You have no Dream of Spring.
Yeah.
Can I just tell you, the Winds of Winter conspiracy theory emails have been ramping up in our inbox.
Yeah.
Like, you guys,
Yeah.
you can't keep doing this to yourself.
Yeah, we can. We can and we will.
Is this people who
I
are
believe-
there's an unnamed book coming on sale at Barnes & Noble in 2 weeks?
They're like, he's going to this convention,
Yeah.
and he only ever goes to this convention
If
when the
there's an
wind blows a
announcement.
certain way,
There's
and the
a-
moon is in a certain phase.
There's a
And-
lot of tracking of website metadata.
Yeah.
That's been a big thing for some time.
Yeah.
It's usually just there's a little emoji at the bottom that says I'm in a contemplative mood
people have
or
been
something. But
swift-pilled, man. He's not doing that. Metadata? That's
No,
not
but-
how
but
he's working.
The real reason is this crops up every few years, and I feel like you beautiful, sweet summer children forget that we've been here before again and again and again. And I'm just like, until the book is in our hands, let's not just set ourselves up for disappointment.
Okay, so we
I
had
believe.
many seasons of Game of Thrones. We're on
Yeah.
season 2 of House of the
Yeah.
Dragon.
Wait, quick
8.
poll. Quick
Yeah.
poll.
You
Round of
remember?
applause.
Remember season 8?
Who thinks they're getting Winds of Winter this year?
This year, I did not let the record
Did one person
state-
clap?
Well, I mean before I die.
I believe we're gonna get
Which
Winds of Winter.
might be
May.
this year at this rate.
Who
honestly.
thinks we're gonna get Winds of Winter, like a firm announcement? Winds of Winter is happening this year,
No.
or
No.
no.
One hand went up.
Exactly. Okay.
Absolutely not.
All right.
No.
Just making sure.
But eventually,
someday. Sure,
yeah,
maybe.
after
Do you guys need Game of Thrones to be finished though? Didn't they in your mind?
Yes. Did you see season 8 of Game of Thrones?
But I think that's.
yes, we need a Song of Ice and Fire.
But don't you think that's kind of the problem? Because season 8 of Game of Thrones ends. It is canonically what George told them would happen. Why do you think I came all this way? Like all of that
going to go now?
is from George. And it did not go over well. So do you think George is like, should I change my ending?
No, I think
I think he's like, money is
the
great.
opposite.
And
I
this
think
is
he's
awesome.
like,
Going to conventions and signing
I
stuff is
listened
awesome.
to many hours of podcasts where people said it wasn't about the final plot point. It was about how they got there. And with my 97 point of view characters and tomes so long they can no longer print them as one volume, I can make sure that the path to Dany, Bran, etc., is a satisfying one.
Okay, so the spirit of George R. R. Martin just entered your body and spoke through you.
Let me tell you something. If the spirit of George R. R. Martin entered my body, I would write Winds of Winter.
And we get it next year.
Game of Thrones,
Yeah.
House of the Dragon.
Yeah.
Night of the Seven Kingdoms is rolling,
Can't
and we're
wait.
going to get it.
It's going to be great.
Can't wait. Chris received no fewer than 75 text messages. We're on a, I would say, vibrant and robust group chat, the three of us right now. I mean, always, but right now it's thriving.
Yeah.
And they released some casting news about Dunk and Egg, and we were texting actively.
There was no context for it. Like, you just started texting
I
about
would
it.
just
I would say the context was bountiful. It was just lost.
This is
No,
what's happening.
I would say an actor name, and you would get so excited you'd say the character
Yeah,
name.
like
and I would
all
say
caps,
actor
Baylor
name,
Breakspear, Arya
Yeah.
Brightflame.
The
And
Laughing Storm, blah, blah,
Chris
blah.
just let us go on, and I was
Yeah.
like, Chris is really, like, wrapped. He is
Yeah.
engaged.
Definitely.
That's not what it means when
And
Chris is silent
then-
on the group chat.
We had concluded, and he chimed in and said, don't know what you guys are talking about,
Yeah.
but it seems cool.
I was happy for you. Night of the Seven Kingdoms, an adaptation of Dunk and Egg. Aegon's Conquest.
Yes.
A House of the Dragon prequel about the unification of the Seven Kingdoms and the first king of Westeros. Heard about that guy.
Yeah.
Sea
You're
Snake.
familiar
had-
with his dream?
2 wives who were
Yeah.
also his sisters.
the Targaryens.
That's great stuff. The Sea Snake, young Corlys, basically, right?
Yeah, 9
And
voyages.
that had a showrunner, or has a showrunner, Bruno Heller, who did Gotham and The Mentalist. 10,000 ships.
But wait, Chris.
Yeah?
On the 9 voyages front, I'm surprised that you're acknowledging this, that this is Talk the Thrones live canon, because this is rumored
Animated.
to be an animated
Which
series.
one, 10,000 ships or the Sea Snake?
The Sea Snake Show. Will you be acknowledging its existence, even though it is
I
an
acknowledge
animated
its
form?
existence. I just don't participate in it. Yeah, if it's been drawn, it doesn't really
It doesn't
affect me.
count?
Yeah, it doesn't count.
Unless it's Blue Eye Samurai.
Tragic.
I'll tell you something. From my point of view, this is the one this really breaks my heart, is Snow, which got shelved. This was obviously Jon Snow Beyond the Wall. I said to Joe backstage, I was like, wouldn't it be cool if it was just like Jon Snow : Mandalorian? And it was like every episode, he solved a crime in the woods.
And what did I say?
You just shook your head.
I said that sounds so boring.
Yeah.
I would watch every second of that. Chris.
But wouldn't you rather watch what's west of Westeros,
Well, I think-
Arya's adventures on the high seas?
Why not both? It's the old why not both. But I do think that's probably part of why they feel like people gave interviews to the press about how they couldn't find it and didn't have that creative spark or an idea. But could it not be that they know if they do Snow, everybody's going to want to know what's up with Bran? What's up with Bronn? What's up with Sam? What's up with Sansa in the north? You can't, I mean, Beyond the Wall or not, we can find out that Jon is living as king beyond the wall. Everyone's going to want to know about all the other characters, and they're not ready to move
This
into
is the main point that I wanted to
future of
kind
the
of talk
timeline.
about. Was
But
that
I'm ready.
The other spin-offs include Robert's Rebellion, that was shelved. Blood Moon, they shot a pilot, that was shelved.
Yeah.
All of these are prequels. Is the fact that George is sitting on these books, can't finish them, he just can't finish, can't close, that they're now kind of stuck telling historical tales that probably everybody in this audience, if they just Wikipedia hard enough, figures out like what happens on them.
Don't Google any characters in House of the Dragon. Don't Google a name. Don't Google a place. Keep yourself pure.
Is that holding back the franchise at all for you?
Well, not for us, I think, but I think it's George's preference that they not go forward and that he get a chance to definitely write A Dream of Spring, which he definitely is going to do.
One day. It's like nobody paid attention when Stannis said we march toward victory or we march toward defeat, but we go forward only forward. You know? Did they learn nothing? That worked out fine for him.
It was.
It worked out fine for him. Everything was
'Cause
okay.
he's
right
still
after
alive.
that.
He's the king, right? Now? Unified everyone? Okay, cool.
I believe that at some point in the not too distant future, they will expand into the unwritten, unpenned future timeline. I mean, this is not like a unique Game of Thrones conundrum,
I know.
right? We're here with Star Wars, etc. This is just like
Lord of the Rings.
the IP era that we're in, but that's also the reason that it feels like inevitable that we will expand in that direction because the streamers can't resist, right? They're going to want more content.
But they're gonna wait until everyone has decided, because like all the actors coming off of Thrones were like, we are done with that, except for Kit, who was like, put me back in, coach, right? But everyone else, Amelia's like, don't call me. Well, she's off the show. Never mind. But like, I think they're gonna have to wait until everyone is at a point in their careers where they're like, maybe we want some of that Thrones shine again, you know?
I'm not giving up on Snow. Chris, you seem passionate about it. Joe's out. I think we should pull a Melisandre here, right? Let's take whatever script they had. Let's put some oil in its hair, like trim a little beard.
Bring it back to
hair,
life.
Sprinkle it in the fire. Bring that puppy back. Let's do it.
Should we tell the story about like when
Yes.
we were doing
Yes.
Thrones, like back when it was still on, when we were doing it on HBO?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think the NDA is lapsed by now. That's how NDAs work, right? This is the best thing, is that I have always watched this show as like basically as TV. I've done like some light reading on the margins, but never anything written by George R. R. Martin.
Yeah. Reading of the internet, not of the actual text. Just
And
to
when
be
we were
clear.
first doing it,
He's a strong wikier.
incredible
He
search
is.
terms, yeah.
He is.
I got to see the episodes at HBO because that was how it was work. I would drive out Santa Monica and see the episodes. So I was the person, because we needed Mallory to do the show, but she didn't get to see the episode. I took her into a room at the Ringer and just told her about Jon Snow coming back to life.
Brutal.
And for like
literally the thing
30
I cared
hours,
most about
that
in
was
the
her
world.
experience of this
Yeah.
television event, was me being like, and then she's like, and vamoosh, and he
And
gets back up.
We thought it was absolutely essential, and then like 2 days later, they were like, "Come on down. Here's the address." But that is how I experienced John's rebirth with Chris.
I think the one thing that they've
And
done.
the great thing to like, you cared so much about me, you like did all of the little ghost whimpers.
That's
for me.
true.
Like,
Yeah, a lot of sound effects.
Make sure I
And
got
then you
the
were
full
like, it's
experience.
unclear if he came back with wolf brain or not. We're gonna have to stay tuned to find out.
Yeah. Does he know his own name? No.
I don't know. Is he feral now? I'm not sure.
I do think, though, that one thing that this season has kind of showed me is that for as much as it might be difficult as a consumer of the franchise or whatever, it's kind of good the way that they're pacing it. You know, obviously we went through a ton of Marvel stuff right around the pandemic starting, and it all came out on TV, and they haven't really quite figured out the quality control on that. Star Wars is Star Wars, but
Wait,
it feels like
is something going on with Marvel right now?
it feels like with Game of Thrones, they figured out like the cadence, they figured out the tone, they figured out what they want to do. I guess my question is, do you think that there's room within the Game of Thrones world to have wildly varying tones from what they've already done? Because I think House of the Dragon is succeeding maybe the closer it gets to Game of Thrones tonally.
Right. I hear what you're saying. I want that for all IP. I want all IP to feel like it can play in the universe. And when we get a Marvel movie like Black Panther that feels like it's sort of elevated on a different level, or when we get a Star Wars show like Andor and it feels just like we're getting something different. We're still in the same world that we're excited about, but we're getting a different kind of story. Mal and I have been talking about Acolyte a lot in this vein, where we really wanted that for Acolyte, and it's not quite delivering on that. So I do think that's possible. It just really requires people to not be afraid to experiment.
Yeah, and it requires a studio or a streamer or whatever to be like, well, we're gonna put this up when it's ready.
Yeah.
Right, like we don't need it Q1 because of this or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that it's a good question. I think that it sounded like, just from what was reported on the Blood Moon long night, as George insisted on continuing to call it, that would have been a different vibe, even though there would be like it would have been a lot of connective tissue to certain aspects of the Northern lore. I think Dunk and Egg will be tonally distinct. It is still going to be swords and shields. It's still going to be knights. It's still going to be Westeros, but there's going to be like a young wolf and cub adventure like charm
No,
to
that's
it.
novel. Yeah, nobody's done that.
It's
cool.
it's gonna be.
I think it's gonna feel familiar, but it's gonna feel familiar to like parts of Thrones.
Yeah.
It's not gonna have the darkness that accompanied that like sort of light nomadic, let's go adventuring storylines in Thrones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just wait till you get your animated series.
I can't wait. You know, just like I'm already subscribed twice to HBO for that. Let's talk about House of the Dragon, shall we?
Oh yeah.
Just vibes-wise, show round of applause. Do you guys think that this season is better than the first season so far? It's hard sometimes. We talk to each other. We don't necessarily always hear from people about how they're feeling about it. I think it is exceptionally better. I think it's like markedly better.
Oh yeah. Are you finding that you are enjoying not finding out that 10 years passed between episodes?
There's that, but I think that there's also just
You really did not enjoy Paddy Considine's performance as Viserys.
no. It's I liked his performance, but
I'm
Can
kidding.
you imagine?
I'm kidding.
If Chris felt that way.
what's that?
If you came out on this stage right now
Anti-Paddy?
Anti-Paddy.
I'm pro Patty. I think that we got a lot of sores the first season.
a lot of
You know what I
festering
mean?
sores.
And
A lot
that
of magical leprosy.
Pro Paddy, anti-sore.
yeah, like I think it was just like
a brave
painstakingly
stance.
detailed
Yeah.
about
Enough
his.
of the Melos Maggot Bowl.
Yeah.
That was your season 1 take. Reasonable. Okay, so you like not moving through time as quickly.
Yeah, and I think that the conflict itself has just been like really expertly drawn in the first season, sometimes painful to get through, but we got there. And now we have these two opposing sides, and I think that we'll eventually, just based on trailers and stuff like that, like start moving outside of these castles and start
Yeah.
getting back into the outside world.
Even a little bit in the first 2 episodes that we've seen, we opened in the north. That felt like such a deliberate way of telling us that we're not only going to be like, pulling on the heartstrings, tugging on the heartstrings with the familiar duty, but the world is widening again. Daemon flies off at the end of episode 2 on Caraxes. Well, he's going somewhere, and they've mentioned Toeholds and Harrenhal 5,000 times. So, we're probably heading to the Riverlands at last, right? It's exciting to think about how much bigger the story is going to get, and that we're going to be picking up just days, minutes, episode after episode, and feel like we're really rooted in time. But, the marketing campaign heading into the season was choose a side. Now, we are Team Black.
You two are, yeah.
But Chris
Green-
has recently told us that he is green curious.
Green curious. So we've challenged him. We have
Yeah.
a challenge for Chris Ryan
We'd
this
like
evening.
to talk about that for a minute.
We would like to challenge Chris Ryan to present the case for Team Green.
Absolutely. Okay, first of all, just better lighting over there.
Oh, okay.
I think in general, in King's Landing, they've just got more amenities, more luxury, more entertainment, more like dining options.
Yeah, all of those amenities, that's what they robbed Rhaenyra of.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, we can get into like the litigation of that whole thing, but like they'll do that for us, right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying right now, I think that the internecine fighting that's going on between the Greens and also like the weird pairings off that they're getting, where like you get that scene between Kristen and Aemon and 2, and you're like, these two, they're fucked up in the same way in a little bit. I kind of like it. And then Otto comes in, and he's like, I got to talk to you. What, you guys aren't feeling this? And then I think also, like, just the, like, weird psychosexual stuff of, like, Alicent being this dowager queen who's
Now you have
also
my
still,
attention.
like, I have my urges, and my urges are illicit because this guy is not supposed to be defiling his cloak, which is, like, a huge thing I learned. Is that...
So if there was more illicit
Fidelity, purity.
if there was more illicit fucking on Dragonstone, would we be able to sway you back?
If they were sullying
To
clothes.
Team Black.
What was the best night ever on Dragonstone that we've seen? What was the most fun we've ever had on
Okay,
Dragonstone?
so your argument.
What happens on
would
Dragon?
say-
The council.
I would say- I bet.
How about when Stannis and Melisandre fucked
Oh,
on
yeah,
the painted
painted
table?
table.
No,
Made little-
that's not fair.
Little,
Yes.
little Stanny.
Yes.
That's not fair.
Little
That's a
smoky
completely
Stanny.
different television series. There's not.
You said ever.
All right. I didn't say.
You didn't say in the 12 hours of House of the
in the
Dragon.
12
that we've
hours of
watched
House of
together.
the Dragon. What's the most fun thing that happened in Dragonstone?
Fun. The most
I
fun
bet
thing
The
that happened
wake
on
after Luke's
Dragonstone.
funeral was pretty sick.
Oh, you mean they played the Pogues?
Yeah.
Like people got a little,
Yeah,
little
exactly.
shitty. Yeah.
I liked when Damon brought Sir Lawrence and Sir Stefan out, and he made Jace stand there for a little lesson about loyalty, and then Caraxes just like giraffe-necked around the edge to intimidate them.
That's
you know?
got nothing on like opium dens,
Okay,
brothels.
so a soiled cloak, sure, but
Allison's
soiled
having
small
sex with the
clothes,
bodyguard.
nothing.
There's
All right.
guys invading.
I think it's more you're like a flea bottom guy.
Well, I mean, I think I'd like
Yeah.
I like.
He just wants to be back
Streets
with
of Silk
Davos
guys.
and
Yeah.
Gendry.
I think if there's
Full
like
of brown.
flea bottom, and then there's like the like the nice parts of King's Landing are like the Four Seasons. Like I'm a Marriott guy, you know. I'm like right in the middle. I don't mind. I got points. I got Bonvoy points, so I can get upgraded.
Yeah.
But I don't mind
No
going
free ads.
downstairs and
No
getting the
free ads.
cheeseburger with everybody, you know.
Elizabeth made us take the labels off
Yeah,
of the
no
water
free ads,
bottles,
Chris.
and you brought out a
God damn
Modelo,
it.
and you're talking about Marriott.
So, for you, Chris, this is less you saying that you believe Aegon is the rightful ruler of Westeros.
I also don't know Rhaenyra's platform. What's she
Okay,
got?
so it is you saying this is what. Jesus.
Are you like, what's Rhaenyra's tax policy?
Yeah, I mean, it's like we've got.
It's the
All
old
I know
George
is that
Daenerys
Rhaenyra
thing.
thinks that she has this claim.
She
to,
thinks women should
Okay.
be allowed to rule things. Do you
Yeah.
disagree, Chris?
Right, so
Allison-
Chris, pro-patriarchy. It's tough. So Joe and I, we were bringing a very generous spirit to this. We thought this was just your like extension of a pro-Lannister view on Game of Thrones, where you're like, do I want the Lannisters to win? No, but these are the fun characters. It's fun to spend time with Aemond.
Yes.
It's fun to spend time with Aegon. But no, you're like, Aegon is the rightful ruler, and Rhaenyra, I need to see a little more.
Where's her policies? Like, what are we doing? Yeah.
Yeah. Which policies are you most interested in?
Probably just like, what are we doing about
Drainage.
barnacle removal from the sides of boats?
Right.
That seems to be a
Yeah.
huge problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The block. What she's gonna do about the
Driftmark Corps.
blockade?
One of the things that's
She
been
is the blockade.
one of the things that's been really interesting about this series in particular, and just this season, is with Game of Thrones, I very quickly learned like, don't read ahead. Like, not read ahead. I don't read, but like, don't like look into what's gonna happen, because Red Wedding was like the most amazing TV moment ever, yada yada. And I was so glad I had that blind. But with House of the Dragon, I have been a little bit enticed to kind of like,
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
I
I'm
remember
doing
in
it for
season
their
one-
benefit.
In season 1, he was like, "Oh, I've wikied everything," but then you forget things.
easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, it's like I'm
Including
watching.
the names of all the characters. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that there's been this interesting thing where, because this is a quote unquote history, or this, and it's not necessarily a completely airtight history, right? Like there are
Unreliable
things.
narrators.
Well, there are things that
Yeah.
can get filled in. There are things that we don't know that we can get explained to us. But there's been something a little bit different about this experience. This isn't really a question. It's more just like a throwing it out there. I wonder, for book readers and for scholars like you two, like whether you find this show to be
Scholars?
more surprising in that way, because it's bringing to life a historical text rather than a literary one, in a way.
I think when we talk about adaptation, I think I always prefer an adaptation of like a sparser text, like turn a novella into something,
Yeah.
right? So then you don't
Better
have-
yet, write a few more and then turn 7-ish into a really long-running
or stop
Duncan
at
Egg
3,
series.
George. If you're tired, it's fine. Live your life. But like the idea that they can expand and they're not losing much when they add things to the story. I love, like, we will pour over the like 4 pages of Fire and Blood
Yeah.
that coincide with the episode, and Mal and I are like parsing every single word, and
And then they're just like, actually, Laenor's not dead.
yeah, oops, or like oh, they were trying to get Aemond killed. Like it's, I think those surprises for us are fun, and I think what they've chosen to add, because Ryan Condal and his writers do have a really good sense of what is fun, and if
Yeah.
anyone on the stage has seen episode 3 already, they know that that's true.
I can't wait. Can't wait. Should we just boot up the screener right now? I agree. I think this has been a genuinely riveting adaptation, because there's the unreliable narrator aspect where you have these competing accounts already inside of the text. So there's no definitive account. There's always the room for mystery because of that. We like to say, oh, like, would this be a moment where Mushroom was right? Would this be a moment where Munkin or Eustace was right? But beyond just the surprise inside of those accounts, I think what Joe is saying about how we'll have like a couple sentences or paragraphs that we're pouring over, and that ends up being an entire episode, just the room that they have to play to like, it feels so purposeful in so many ways that the new opening credits for the season, it's a tapestry. Like this idea of weaving the tapestry and adding the threads and feeling in real time how the story is going to keep building and expanding, and like that's tended by people who love the world. Like that's just a really cool and exciting thing. I love that. And then the show becomes definitive canon. You have this other meta aspect of like the people who pass down the histories in this world, the fictional history. They have agendas. They have their own perspective and their own biases. So the fact that like certain characters are just absent, including crucial characters who have been
An entire
centered.
royal child.
Right. Well, yes, absent, missing. And then other characters who we would call like the main characters of the show. So much of what we get out of Alicent and Rhaenyra is new to us completely because the dudes, the bros, who like Chris are just like, Aegon, he seems like he's got it all figured out.
Yeah.
That's
exactly what I said. Yeah.
Kristen, I'm listening. Tell me more. You know, they're passing along the accounts.
They're like, Rhaenyra, that spider, was just stuck in her room and didn't do anything while the dance happened around her.
I would love to run like a clickbait website in this world where it was just like, what do we really know about Rhaenyra?
Yeah.
Why won't she come out and tell us?
I am to the desk.
Yeah.
the old Chris, I am to the desk.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the storylines. And I thought one fun way we could do this for House of the Dragon season 2, but we can make it broader for House of the Dragon as a series so far, is to play a little game called Keep, Drop, Tweak. Okay, this is
Explain it.
a little MFK-ish, but you know, I'm tweaking a little bit. So basically, this is a character, a storyline, a thing that's happening on the show that you want to keep, one that you want to drop, one that you're not sure about. You want to tweak it. Okay. Do you want to go first?
I can.
Okay.
I can go second. I can go last.
Why don't you go first?
Okay. Staying in season 2, and I'm going with sex stuff.
Is this keep?
All of it.
I'm shocked.
What do you mean?
That's
shocked.
You want to keep it, drop it, and tweak it?
When I told you I had a theme, a uniting
Okay.
theme, that was the uniting theme, sex stuff. My keep, my drop, and my tweak will all be sex things from season 2 so far. Yes, we've only seen 2 episodes, but I managed to make it work. Okay. Did I understand the exercise? Unlikely. Have
Yeah.
you two interpreted it differently? Almost certainly. Here we go. All right. I'll start with keep.
Please.
I'll quickly explain why, and then let me know what you think. Okay. My keep on the sex stuff season 2 front is Corlys and Rhaenys, because I actually, as you know, usually if I have the privilege of appearing on Rewatchables and it's like the Mallory Rubin Award for did this movie need a better sex scene, I'm like, yeah, here are 14 ideas. Very detailed ideas. This was actual perfection because the
No
fact
notes.
that we get to
Yeah.
hear, but neither can he be allowed to command him. Pity. I have on occasion found that to be quite
It's
enjoyable.
the second time we've sat through her doing this. Third for you, probably.
Third for me.
Third for Joe. It won't be the last. We can fill in the blanks nicely, and I like that we are running wild with our imaginations there. That feels...
How much do you enjoy that scene happened in the same year that we got Professor X on X-Men 97 saying a very similar thing?
It's great.
Yeah.
Chris is not familiar with what you're talking about because
I
that
watched
show
two.
is-
drawn.
I watched
It's
two
drawn.
episodes.
That
of
show is
yeah.
out.
But this is the year of the gentleman sub. Yeah, love it.
Okay. My drop. The drop is going to be the hardest to explain. I would like to drop the non-animalistic and carnal Alicent Kristen.
Drop it.
In favor of adding.
In favor of, to be clear, I'm not dropping Alicent and Kristen.
What,
You're just
when
a
are-
A bed. I want them to release the animalistic carnal cut. I cannot believe
Oh,
that
when she was
Olivia
like, we
Cook has
fucked like
gone
animals?
to the
Yeah.
press and said they fucked like animals, and it was cut. So I'm not dropping their...
You're like, to make
Tryst.
room in the runtime, because we have to keep it at 69 minutes.
Nice.
We're going to drop all the, like, non-animalistic stuff. None of this, I'm taking a bath
Yeah.
on the other side of the door. None of this character-based, what are you seeking, absolution, et cetera, et cetera.
I need them to leave
Yeah.
time for the animalistic carnal sex scene, and I need them to leave time for Kristen saying, murdered. To Arik with an A. Okay. So, my tweak?
Yep.
No thoughts on the animalistic carnal cut. You guys aren't like, I'm in. I need to see, take the soiled cloak and use it as a sex swing.
No, I'm just like, why not release it as an extra?
Yeah.
I don't need to cut anything.
With like a director's commentary.
Map out
Yeah.
those secret passageways by fucking on every stair.
Great.
Okay.
It is truly nuts that they were like, that's what we can't put in this show, but like we need another drone shot of like a forest or something like that. You know, like
Exactly. All right. Was that a way of just really doing a second tweak? It was.
Sure was.
But here's my tweak. My
that,
tweak.
I would argue, was not a drop, but okay.
I'm dropping the specific version that we got.
for
In
more
favor
of
of
it.
a
To
subtle
Yeah.
tweak it to something
And
else.
here's
yeah.
my tweak. Because technically that was a drop. My tweak is Aemond and Sylvie. Because here's what I would like to tweak about it. I still want the scene. I want to hear about how everybody was mean to Aemond. I want to hear about how he regrets. He's got remorse. He's carrying a lot of guilt, a lot of guilt, a lot of shame in this episode. And then I want him to go full Luke on Octo. Straight from the teat. That's the tweak. If
No.
we're going for the milkmaid thing,
I'm using only context
Let's do
clues.
it.
I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, so breastfeeding.
You saw The Last Jedi,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
what do you think?
I love your work, Mallory.
yeah.
Quite simply, but yeah. May I offer us an alternative suggestion?
Sure. Yeah.
But still sex stuff.
Yeah,
Okay,
obviously.
yeah.
We're under the canopy of sex stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should Damon and Rhaenyra have had a sex scene before he left to Harrenhal? Yes. Someone said no, and
Someone
I heard
did say no.
and I support you, but you're wrong, but I
Did say
support
no.
you.
Yeah. Where should it have been? I mean, Chris is the one looking to spice things up on Dragonstone. A little library sex.
The painted table is just sitting there.
Oh, yeah.
But now they're like, there's fire.
Well, you have to light it. I'm saying an unlit or maybe light the perimeters or something like that.
Candles, just pull the candles out, make
Yeah.
it mood lighting.
Something like that actually happened to me at an acupuncturist once. I was like,
Wait, something like which part?
my acupuncturist was like, do you want the table hot? And I was like, not really, but like whatever you think
And
is
then
best.
it was too hot.
And then she made it way too hot and like bounced and like forgot all about me. And I was in there for like 45 minutes.
So how long, Chris Ryan? This is great, a psychological study.
Sir Crispin?
Last acupuncturist.
Are
visit,
you
by
the
way.
kind of person who's gonna sit there and burn yourself on
Yeah.
an acupuncture
Yeah.
table?
You wanna know why,
Rather
though?
than say, "Excuse me."
I had my back was full of needles.
Yeah.
That's why I couldn't move.
You're in a compromised
Yeah.
position. Okay.
Jeez.
Got a little Corliss
Holy head
action.
jogging.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyway, Joe, what's your
Yeah.
keep, drop, tweak?
Alas, it is not sex stuff themed. I apologize, Mallory. Listen, we are keeping. Okay, this is something that I would not have believed of myself a couple weeks ago.
Ooh.
Keeping Massaria. Massaria is working.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
is
was
your
my keep. That was my keep.
Yeah.
What? She's picked Massaria?
She's
Most improved
working.
player.
Sure.
The Tyrese Maxey of House of the Dragon.
Yeah.
She's working.
Yeah.
I'm gonna skip to my.
When next I see you both, I get to say, when last we met, there were two of you who picked Massaria as your keep.
Yeah.
Why do you keep
great.
going back to that line? She said a lot of really cool stuff about scars in
Yeah.
this week's episode.
I just
so
love that they had to remind us of
it wasn't
Eric
the
and
only
Arik.
time. Every time someone saw
And
Eric
she
Ark, they're
sheltered
like,
with the
"Your
goats."
twin, your brother." That brings me to
Brother.
my tweak. Cargills. I would maybe let's move the fight a little later and give us a little bit more time with them.
This is, I have to say, a shocking. I'm astonished right now.
You thought that was my drop?
I just can't believe that you want more of the Cargills, who you despise.
I just want to care. Just
She's
make
thinking
me
maybe
care.
if they got more screen time, she would care more.
I think so.
Yeah.
Interesting. How many episodes do you want to give him? You want to keep him here
Two
till
more.
season 4?
No, two more. No, we're done. Okay.
Okay.
Last but not least,
Yeah.
and just stay with me.
Oh,
Don't get mad at me.
This is drop?
exciting.
We're dropping.
Is this about a dragon?
No.
Okay, then I'm
It's
fine.
about a dog.
Oh, god damn it.
Oh, yeah.
No, listen to me. I think we should drop the rat catcher dog because it really only existed to get kicked. So just cut it out of the show.
Yeah.
We didn't need to see it.
But when he takes his revenge on
That's-
Cheese's corpse,
That's in your head. That lives there with the animalistic fucking that you'll never get to see.
committed to House of Arcanon on
Yeah.
the pod today. Yeah, somewhere in the
4-hour mark.
I'm surely uploading it around 3 a.m. tonight.
What's yours?
Okay,
Yeah,
so
this was
keep
good.
keep I have Massaria. Just
love this.
absolutely like no shooting up the charts.
Absolutely.
I love her scenes.
Yeah.
And I just think she has like a very cool weird vibe, and everybody always has to play off that. I just love her.
Yeah.
Never thought I would say that. Drop. All good with Alicent in the bath.
Oh, no more water motif.
I just think I'm like, okay, I got a lot of shows to watch. Let's get her. She's
What
she's
about-
clean. I get it.
What
Like,
What if she goes to like a nearby pond?
Yeah.
Or we're near the ocean, like a salty ocean dip.
As long as it's not like I just need
That
to jump
tub.
in the bath and be
Okay,
sad.
okay.
But
Yeah,
what if
like-
she scrubbed a different body part? Because this seems to be a large part of your
Yeah, the
your
right
Ajna.
shoulder
She's
was
just, like, working
neglected.
the shoulder?
Yeah.
Well, the second episode, I think she just like lies there for a while thinking about what she's done. But like, I'm like, you just walk around some more or something. Like, I
Get
just
some
think,
dry shampoo.
tweak,
Yeah.
small folk. Let's jazz it up a little bit. If we really like we're gonna get the first time we really get small folk, and we're gonna be like, I had to go all over the place looking
I
for.
you were saying you were a man of the people. I love.
No, I said I was a man of the Bonvoy points. So sometimes I'm looking down from my corner room and being like, this guy's really complaining about how many stores he had to go to get a chicken.
The chicken for the pot. It's
Yeah.
part of a 7-course tasting
So
menu
he
with
wants,
a wine pairing.
You want medium folk.
Yes.
No small folk.
it's
just
not even
medium
that. I
folk.
don't need like management. I just mean like
Yeah.
I want them to want more for themselves.
Yeah,
You
you
know?
want all your fellow executives at the
You
bottom.
really are
to get
Team
more
Green.
Yeah.
Christ.
I love this for you.
Okay.
This is great. This is a great exercise. Thank you so much.
Okay, obviously we have some disagreements up here. In some combination, we've been podcasting about Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon for several years, Mallory and I, going back a long time. But we still maybe there's things we do and do not know about each other as hosts. So as a little game, I thought we could play something that's kind of like Newlywed Game or How Well Do You Know? It's called How Well Do You Know Your Co-Host in relation to House of the Dragon and what they think about the show.
Okay.
So we're gonna play this little game.
And Steve's here. Give it up for Steve.
Steve!
So Steve and Jomi came up with questions for us.
And
We do not know what they
We
are.
don't
when
know
did
what
we
the
ask for
questions
these
are going to be.
questions? Mere hours
Yeah,
ago.
and so each one of us
Yes.
will get a question, and then the other two will have to like say, this is what
yeah.
Chris thinks. Okay.
Okay. So we've
Love
got.
to be surprised.
Yes, we will. All right. So
Exciting.
this first set of questions is for Mal to Joe and CR. Mallory.
Okay, but so I'm supposed to write what my actual
You,
answer
you'll write your answer as well, but we'll see theirs first. Mal.
I swear to God, Mal, if you write like a paragraph.
I don't have the penmanship for that.
Which House of the Dragon character would you most like to take to an Orioles game?
Oh my god.
Best hang.
Oh, so is it best hang or specifically?
Oh my god.
And,
Who's she taking to an O's game?
This is hard.
Okay.
I got mine.
Okay. Joe, let's see yours.
Helena, so she can tell you what's coming.
Oh.
I have as good of a reason. I said Rainice because she just seems like a peanuts and beer gal, and like she would.
Oh
just,
yeah, and she's fun. She's fun and attorney.
She would just be a great hang.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Amen.
That would be terrible.
My favorite maniac. I love him.
Why?
he would
What's
be-
the
he would
vibe
be
there?
like-
Honestly, the only other consideration was Damon for me. I
If
want
you-
to
if
have
you
a
could-
fucked up night at Camden.
If you could pick someone from all of history, would it be Maegor the Cruel?
My guy Maegor.
Yeah.
Yeah, impaled at Boog's barbecue.
Yeah.
Don't you
First the
think
Iron Throne, then Boog's.
Eamon would definitely be a Yankees fan. Like he would just be like, clearly they are superior. Like
No, I don't know. I feel like Amond is like a suffering Mets fan.
like Sean.
Like
Sean-
Sean.
yeah, I was gonna say Sean
and
Fennessy.
Jack, who's here tonight.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Amond, we're gonna have fun. We're gonna get some Boog's barbecue. We're gonna get a natty bow.
When have
He's
you
gonna
ever
put a
seen
little milk
Eamon done
in it.
any of this stuff?
He's gonna sit there. He's gonna be like, I don't have the sight line, down this baseline. Can you walk me through what's
Is
going
he
on?
gonna be zooted out of his mind on Milk of the Poppy, which is Chris's interpretation?
Do
of
they
Aemon?
serve
When they
that
do
there?
seventh inning stretch, last call. Yeah, we're gonna. Whew, boy,
Milk of the Pop? Love it.
it's gonna be
Oh.
fun. It's gonna be fun.
All right. Next one for Mal. Which dragon is Mal most likely to get tattooed on her back, aka the Ben Affleck special?
Oh, like we're talking like full.
Yeah, yeah,
full
you're-
Phoenix.
you're staring out
And
at the
this
sea.
is just from House of the Dragon.
Yes.
This is tough because we don't want to give anything away for a future, the next game we're going to play. But
True. Is this? Can I ask? Is this just dragons we've seen so far? Or can it be dragons
my
we
God,
know are coming
just
this
pick a
season?
dragon.
or-
Let's go with dragons we know are coming. Okay, Joe.
what shape she's making?
I once again was torn between two.
Okay.
Sunfire, golden, gorgeous beast.
Vagar?
That was the one I almost picked Vagar.
Thanks.
Vagar.
Vermithor. The Bronze Fury.
I love the Bronze Fury.
Okay.
Though that's a larger back piece than I want now that I think about it, which is also the problem with Vagar, actually. It would be appealing to get, like, Moon Dancer, you know?
I
Small little
almost
dragon.
went
I
Moon
love
Dancer.
Vermithor.
Okay, final one for Mel. What House of the Dragon character are you forming a Survivor alliance with?
Oh.
I think Ciara's got this locked.
I think Joe's going to get this one right.
All right, Joe? Laris! It's Laris.
Here's the great news. We are going to the end, to Final Tribal. However, then he will cut my throat.
Betray you, yeah.
You think he's going to wait that long?
We might have spent 10 minutes on this on the podcast.
We talked about this literally today.
All right, next category is for Joe. Joanna Robinson. Which character would Joe tarnish her Kingsguard cloak for?
Oh.
Like, sexually?
How else is there to tarnish it?
Can the character be living or dead? I mean, sorry, I want to be clear that I don't. I'm
Currently
not
living?
asking-
Currently
sorry,
living?
I am not asking if Joe is going to fuck a corpse.
Right.
I mean, like, can we time travel?
How about let's say right now as the season stands?
Just say, I'm not asking if she's going to fuck a corpse. I'm asking if we can time
Well,
travel.
that ruins the
in
next
this-
question.
It's a fantasy story. It's fine. Okay.
Is it?
Well. Okay.
I don't like people knowing this about me.
All right, Mal. Bees? Beesbury?
And it works.
Alan Beesbury.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
right, Alan Beesbury.
Alan
if
Beesbury.
If like the dead and time travel are not a permissible part of this thought experiment, then Alan, come on in. We're staying with House
Fuck it.
Bees.
I'm going Eric.
Yeah!
It's pronounced Arik.
That guy.
It's Damon Targaryen.
Damn it! That's the Matt Smith bias there.
I don't feel great about it, but it's just true. So
Interesting.
Yeah.
And that's how Allison feels.
Bells of a pleasure den.
Definitely not Otto. Okay.
Okay, all right. So if Joe were to become some sort of witchly shapeshifter in the Red Keep, what animal would she want to turn into?
Let me just say that I cannot believe there was a question about transforming into an animal, and it wasn't about me.
Go to you?
This is like we got an audience question about Laris, and it was
Genuinely
directed to Mallory, and
Right,
I was
yeah.
like, excuse me. Okay.
So if Joe could transform into
An animal.
in
To
the
slink
Red
about the Red Keep.
but
Yes.
specifically in the Red Keep.
I think this is just
There's not that many animals, though.
guys. It's a what do you call it? A meatball down the middle.
All right.
Right, Steve? Thanks. Too many letters.
That's a lot of
guys.
letters. That's a lot of letters.
Way too many.
For
I drew a picture.
all right, Mal. A cat.
Is there a cat?
Is that a cat? Of course it's a cat.
No, is there a cat in the
Is
Red
there a
Keep?
cat?
Yeah.
There have been cats in the Red Keep,
when
right?
when they
hung all the rat catchers, they
Oh,
replaced
well,
them
I
all.
had that
brings
poor
in
dog
100
looking at it.
cats.
Yeah.
What'd you pick? Poor dog.
That poor dog. I said cat catching rats.
Cat catching rats.
There we go.
All
But
right,
if I could be any cat, I would be Sir Pounce.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
royal
Sweet
pampered
Sir
cat.
Pounce.
Yeah.
okay, last one for Joe.
Is anyone keeping score here?
Yeah, well, you were winning.
That's pretty much it.
No,
you
you
have-
have one right.
yeah, we
I
each
got
have one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll start.
You're definitely losing, Chris, but I'm not winning.
All right, Joe, what actor from Game of Thrones, or not from Game of Thrones, from House of the Dragon, would you most like to appear in Doctor Who that hasn't already?
Oh God, that last part's hard. That hasn't already.
I almost said, has Matt Smith been on Doctor Who?
Wow.
I've not seen Doctor Who.
Can someone get Chris some fish fingers and custard, please? God damn it. Maybe a bow tie. Fuck, this is hard. A House of the Dragon actor to join Doctor Who has not been on Doctor Who. Gonna write a character name instead of the performer's name.
Okay.
No, it's two. I'm going for a bit here.
No.
Okay.
All right. I'm ready.
I'm gonna go with.
Okay.
Okay.
Is she drawing this one too?
Oh, your answer's so good, Chris.
I said Emma.
That's a good one.
Oh, Emma.
I'm just sticking with Laris Core here.
Laris?
Really,
Yeah.
I almost went. I
Yeah.
wrote
I was
that.
gonna say Talia as a bit, but I didn't. I can't, I can't claim to know
I
Talia's
wrote Matthew
name.
and then I erased it and I put you and Mitchell.
I
Amen.
do feel as though I should receive half a
Don't
point.
you think-
I do feel as though I
No.
should receive half a point.
There are no half points. Don't you think that you and Mitchell would make a great alien? Right? Amen.
Like a whole prosthetic face?
He's so creepy. Wait, while we're here, who's your favorite Game of Thrones actor who has been on Doctor Who? For me, it's still Harry Lloyd.
Yeah. That
Yeah,
was fantastic.
Family of Blood.
Fantastic
Yeah.
episode. Love that.
Wonderful. All right, we're on to CR.
All right,
Okay.
CR.
Okay.
This is where Mal takes the game because I'm
More or less.
She's been working with you for much longer than I
I mean,
have.
Chris has 0 points. You have 1, and I have 1.5. So I don't.
You have you have just the one.
a lot on the line here.
All right, Chris. Which Team Green member has the best fit that you would like to wear?
Oh my God. Hold on. Layers.
Jackets.
At least 4 layers at all times.
Hats.
All right, Joe, let's see it.
Wait. Team Green, you said?
Team Green. All right, Joe, let's see it.
Gotta work
Okay,
on
my answer's wrong, but
handwriting.
I had to do it. It's Kristen Cole because of the hat situation.
Aegon?
Swag Lord.
Yeah.
It's the fur. It's the fur, isn't it?
I love it.
You don't like the new Aegon drip with the golden sigil?
He doesn't like these kids.
Fuck these kids. Yeah.
Fuck them kids.
peacocks. Oh, feathers.
Okay, CR. It's the stupidest one we have.
It's been more than the turning into an animal. Okay.
No. If you can cast Joel Embiid as any character
Fuck,
in House of the
Steve.
Dragon, who would it be?
Like, so are we replacing a current
Yes.
performer with Embiid and he's playing a character on the show
Yes,
now?
correct.
Or are we saying like he would play a type of character?
Current character on the show.
All right.
Oh, no, you need that. All right, well, off the dome, I'm going with Daemon Targaryen. Wow, the crowd goes mild.
Wow.
You screwed me.
Folks, I've received a guest transmission from Sean Fennessy chiming in to say he believes Embiid would play.
Kristen Cole.
Did Sean say that?
I feel that he would.
Embiid always gets injured right at the moment of battle, so Eric.
I thought you were going to say Corley.
Yeah. Actually, Corliss would have been.
Corliss, yeah.
Boy. Guys,
Wonderful.
we don't know each other very well.
All right, final question. CR, which House of the Dragon character is most likely to lead the CR army?
Oh, God.
Oh. All right, who likes Reddit?
Absolute unhinged maniac.
Who likes Reddit? Who likes Reddit and movie drafts?
Who has time to just vote and vote and vote and vote?
Who's on the forums a lot?
Man. I've got it. Now, I mean, I know that this answer is right, though I also know you don't know this character and won't be saying this. But I'm doing it anyway, because I know in my heart it's true.
Okay. But go ahead, Mel.
All right, Mal.
Iron Rod.
He
Without
does
a
he
doubt.
loves that, yeah.
Without a doubt, it's Iron Rod.
Okay. Who is
Jasper
that?
Wilde. Who is that? He's the master of laws on the small council for your beloved Greens.
Okay.
Named Iron Rod for either the rigidity, right, or the stiffness of his member.
I would say
This is just in the book.
worst-
Just canon.
next time you have a black small council scene, just look for the worst guy.
Okay.
And that's him.
He's the one who's always like, she's not responding to your letters about her dead kid.
That's the guy. I'm gonna go with Laris.
Oh, interesting. That's
Yeah.
disturbing. Yeah.
No, but he would employ a bot army.
That's the thing. Because I was going to say it can't be Laris because he's too shielded. He doesn't let his takes.
But he would get like
Be
all the
known.
small folk to vote for
But
CR.
he would mobilize the mob.
Head of
Yeah.
the CR army.
You're right.
I feel like it's Aegon. I feel like that guy loves
Oh.
Wayne Jenkins. He's just like this. It's never not funny, you know? Okay. Is that the last one for
That's
me?
the last one?
Okay.
That's the one we got?
We're going to keep the games
Great
going
stuff.
here, and we're going to keep on the theme of
Thank you, Steve. Thanks,
Steve.
Jomi, who wrote the.
my perhaps
Thank you, Steve. Thank
lack
you,
of
Naomi. Thank you,
sophisticated
Arjuna.
understanding of this universe, which is an object of real ridicule over the years, has been my touch and go grasp of who's got what dragon and what dragon is doing
Touch
what.
and go, that implies that you ever...
It's perpetually going.
Got
I
any
think,
right.
yeah.
Okay.
So Joe and Mal
Yeah.
have put together a quick dragon quiz for me, and I have to say, I'm in a much better place than I was last year on this.
We're about to play a game we're calling Name That Dragon!
Now,
We are not giving you every dragon. We've kept the sample
to
small.
5. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would say, crowd participation, is it welcome? Sure.
Crowd participation is not allowed. It is strictly
And if you-
Forbidden. We made it really easy for Mallory's like, we should give him one that hasn't even appeared on the show, that hasn't breached the egg yet. And I said
thought
no.
it was reasonable to suggest that if the dragons had been featured heavily in the trailers, of which there were 4, they could be a part of the exercise. But
Let's-
I was
let's-
outvoted.
They're not, Chris.
Let's
Don't
try
worry.
it out.
Here we go.
I was outvoted.
Are you ready?
You're not going to make him name the 3 dragons in our logo?
No.
That's me. I'm the tallest.
How can you be like, it's really important that you don't ask me any question I'm not prepared for?
And that's CR. Okay, listen.
Here we go.
Mallory's allowed to give you hints.
I'm sure she'll be really generous. Thanks. Yeah.
I'm here to help.
Okay. Chris Ryan,
Yeah.
name that dragon.
Okay.
You can come closer. Yeah.
You've got this. You can do this. We believe in you.
Chris,
So
come
I
back.
think you guys would probably start.
Come back.
You got it.
Just
you got
look
it,
at,
bud.
Look at the whole picture. Can you guys see? We were trying to make it so you guys could see. Can you see? Okay. Well, I know not all of you can see. This was a last-minute idea we had, and we did not project it, and I'm sorry.
Vagar.
No. Mallory, you want to... Don't laugh at him! Support him!
Okay, I got that one wrong. We'll go to the next one.
What if I said...
to be nice, but that I'm sorry that.
No, come on. What if we said... I want you to look
I'm
at...
sorry, it's about the people for me, okay?
I want you to look at his long body.
Yeah.
And what if
All
I
right.
told you he's also called the blood worm?
Yeah, that's your clue. The bloodworm.
Caraxes?
Yeah! Chris Ryan,
You did it.
1 out of 1.
Okay.
Here we go. Yeah.
So okay, are we giving half points now?
No, full points for CR. CR,
Okay.
name that dragon.
That is
Oh.
Moonbeam?
See, that's really actually very close, I think.
Moonbeam?
Are you saying moonbeam or moonbean?
He's saying
Beam. Like a
saying
beam of moonlight.
moon
Is this like a
Dancer.
small batch of
Moon
Jim
Dancer.
Beam?
It's not Moon Dancer just because Moon Dancer has not appeared yet.
Okay.
I did
On
want
any
to put Moon
episodes
Dancer
that the
in.
general public has watched.
Okay.
But in trailers, right?
Trailers.
Okay.
Chris, give it another go.
Melis? 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 No.
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 What's a good hint that we can give?
Is it one of the daughters as dragons?
no,
no.
Katie Baker called this dragon the Gen X dragon.
Oh, that doesn't help.
There's
me.
a goatee.
There's a
This
goatee.
dragon has a goatee.
Was this dragon in Before Sunset? Like, what do you? How am I supposed to get?
Yeah. Listening to records.
Lots of espresso.
Okay, this is going to be, you will get it after this because this is a big clue. For real. Are you ready?
Yeah.
This dragon had a rider in season 1.
And
that
then
rider
is
gone.
Luke, right?
No.
Lucerys.
I mean, Luke is gone in a different
This-
way.
okay.
Luke is dead. Luke was eaten by
This is your
Vhagar, who was
your
not in
last
the first
clue,
picture.
and then we will just move on with
Okay.
our lives. This dragon was involved in a battle
With your
your
favorite.
guide, the crab feeder.
Prince Dreyha.
Who?
Oh no.
I don't know. We can skip this one.
This is Sea Smoke.
Sea Smoke. Okay. Yeah.
As written by Lador.
Okay.
Wait, you don't remember the crab feeder?
That's the dragon from How to Train Your Dragon, right?
Bonus point. Do you know the name of the dragon?
I haven't seen
go,
it.
buddy.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've never seen this.
There we
But I
go,
I
pal.
guessed.
Yeah.
But you crushed it.
Thanks.
That's
Good work.
two out of three.
Are we gonna get like Puff the Magic Dragon and shit? Oh man.
That was the one little interstitial.
That was just for us.
Okay.
Okay.
We love levity.
Chris Ryan.
Yeah.
Name that dragon.
Is that Vhagar?
Chris, no.
Is that Sunfire?
No.
Is that
Sunfire not
is that
eligible for exercise.
Melis?
No,
Melis?
Melis is called the Red Queen, so that's one of my clues
This
to
is
you
a
for the whole
gold- this is a
exercise.
golden-
Is that if the dragon is not someone who would have the name the Red Queen, it's not Melis.
You guys could have put the Dragon Rider on top. That
I
would've
made
been
them
cool.
cut
In fact,
the dragon rider
Arjuna
out.
had a dragon rider in one, and Joanna was like, "Sub that photo out."
I did.
I gotta admit, I'm hitting the ceiling on the amount of dragons that I know.
Here's my hint for you. You don't believe that this dragon's rider.
Oh, it's
should
Rhaenyra's dragon.
Rule
Yes.
the
And
seven
her
kingdoms.
dragon is named. Cyraxes? Cyrus? Cyraxes? Cyrax.
That's
Okay.
three.
He did
That's
it all
three.
on his own.
Look at this red dragon here.
That's Vhagar, right? No. How you guys not have Vhagar on this fucking list? That's like the main guy.
First of all, Vhagar is a woman.
Yeah.
And so is this queen.
This Red Queen, some might say. Remember
the
30
one that we
seconds
said
ago
you-
when we
Is this
said...
Rhaenys's? Is this
Yes,
Rhaenys's
Rhaenys's
dragon?
dragon,
I don't know her
Yes,
name.
you do! You've guessed it like 19
Cyraxes.
times.
Melis.
Crush it. And last, Chris,
Oh my God, is there a sixth?
but certainly not
Yeah,
least,
Toothless was a bonus, so...
name that dragon.
Vhagar! All
We
right.
said it couldn't be done!
Jesus, I feel like that's like the showing up to the test naked nightmare, but come to life.
I have to say, that was more enjoyable than I even believed
Okay.
it could be.
Mallory's like, you're making it way too easy. I was like, I don't think I am.
I did say that I thought he would go 5 for 5, because I believe in you and I love you.
Thanks. So we have some questions from the crowd. It's just amazing questions. Thank you so much for delivering so many. We're gonna hit some. The first one requires a little bit of candor and vulnerability on the part of somebody in our audience.
Over here.
This is the question. I think my husband looks a little like Sir Kristen Cole.
Oh my.
He disagrees. Can you settle this for us?
Okay, we need you to stand up.
Will you step into the
I
light?
need you to move into the light. Also, I can't see
Come
because
step
I'm
into
blind.
the light.
Yeah, come closer. Come here.
I'll answer it for you right now.
Yeah.
You don't not look like him.
Yeah. I see it. I mean, I can barely see at all.
We were
but
told,
yeah.
backstage, we were told, yes, but better looking. Round of applause if you agree.
Yeah.
Woo!
Okay, I'm gonna leave this one to you two. Can one claim multiple dragons? What's up with that big old dragon from the end of season 1?
The big old dragon from the end of season 1 is Vermithor.
Vermithor, the bronze
aforementioned bronze
fury.
fury. So Vermithor is the former mount of the
Nice.
old king,
Jaehaerys.
who you met, everyone knows, from the opening, remember the
Oh, like
Great
the
Council?
preamble to the prologue.
Yeah,
yeah.
the preamble to the prologue, exactly.
Some
the
of
Great Council
some of the best stuff ever
101,
committed to tape. Yeah.
to pick Viserys as
That guy
king.
who looked impossibly old.
Yeah, they don't call him the old king for nothing,
This
folks.
is his dragon Vermithor.
Okay.
That's right.
And he is currently
Dead.
Okay.
No, Vermithor is alive. Jaehaerys is dead.
Vermithor is thriving. Vermithor, Daemon was singing a lullaby to him, remember, in the Dragon Mount at the end of season 1.
Okay.
He was one of the dragons that he listed when he did dragon math in the season 1
There's
finale.
a-
Thrilling.
There's a bunch of dragons just kicking around Dragonstone is
Love
the point.
dragon math. Love
Can
dragon
a
math.
dragon have 2 riders?
So a dragon
No.
will allow their rider in rare circumstances to bring another person
A pal.
with
A
them.
+1.
Right.
Yeah.
For a little jaunt. But accept a second rider? Absolutely not. It's forbidden.
it's a bond for
the
life.
bond is a sacred bond.
I
Yeah.
love when you talk about dragon rules like it's my State Farm
Who
policy.
can know the mind of such a beast? Who can know the mind of such a beast?
Here's the key part. If your rider dies,
Yes.
you as a dragon can pick a second, third, fourth, fifth
yeah,
rider.
like Vhagar. Chris, are you familiar with all of Vhagar's riders?
Why would
Well,
you
he
do this?
got-
He just finished the dragon
Yeah.
quiz.
Vhagar's had at this point multiple.
Because he's got all the holes in the wings. She's got all the holes in the wing.
Yeah. Team Green.
We've seen Lena, who's Daemon's second wife,
Yes.
Yes.
rode Vhagar,
Yeah.
and now Aemon rides.
That's right.
Did Vhagar
Visenya
incinerate
back
her?
in the day.
What?
Balon.
Who burned her up?
Yeah, Vhagar.
Yeah.
That was big of him.
Her.
Her. Sorry.
She.
It's not really a patriarchy thing. It's just like I just didn't check under, like whatever. Here's another question.
The dragon skirts.
Do you think Bran is in any of the characters' heads, and who would that be? And would Melisandre make an appearance on House of the Dragon? So Bran flying through time on the
Wow.
psychic plane, just mentally surfing. Who does he say? "Whoop,
Raven wings.
let's just take a.
So, like, do
If
you think
I'm
when
Bran-
season 2 opens and we're traveling with a raven into the
But
north,
rather
you
than
think Bran
this-
was like, "What's up?"
I would, if I were Bran, I would scuttle, and I would be a rat in King's Landing. You see a lot of things when you're a rat in King's Landing.
If
right?
Bran, is it like the Matrix, where like if Bran dies in his like psychic surfing, does he die elsewhere
in the
too?
rat body?
Yeah, no. You know what I mean?
Well, do you remember that? So
Obviously not.
No.
the prior three-eyed raven, who was training Bran, is killed.
Yes.
While they're tapped into the Werewood network.
Yeah. Oh,
That was
God.
tough. He flittered away into
Max von
little
Sydow.
Voldemort confetti wisps.
Yeah.
Melisandre, Y or N?
So this
And
is
for me,
this
she
is
could
a
be
popular
here.
theory though
She
that
could be
Melisandre
here.
could show up. at
Did
some
not
point.
know she was 400 years old.
Remember when she took
off the necklace
necklace
and she
it
was
was like
quite old?
tits
Well, I just
down
didn't-
to her ankles?
Didn't know that was the number. I mean, I was just
Yeah.
thought,
She could be here. I
Yeah.
don't want it.
I don't want it.
Okay, this is a great one. I recently saw someone say that Game of Thrones was a show about smart people versus smarter people, but House of the Dragon is a show about people's follies, aka dumb people versus dumber people. What are your thoughts, and what do you think is the merit of a show like Hot D?
I think if you're Team Green like Chris, you love spending time with the foibles of human nature, right? You love watching messy people do messy things.
Sure.
And so I would say we're in the thick of the inbred Targaryen empire. So yeah,
Love incest.
yeah. So if not all of our
Love it.
clever strategy brains are working, that might be. They
It's
might
not-
want to
it's
look
not
into
even, like-
diversifying the gene pool. Yeah.
It's not even like a filter on the dating app. It's like it just assumes you want your sister.
Targaryen
Yeah.
exceptionalism.
Yeah.
You know, Aegon, your guy, he's married to his sister.
Yeah, I know.
Who knows you
What do you
better than
think
your
of that?
sister?
You love it.
I'm an only child, so I don't know. Malpal, where do you think,
Yeah.
or dare say hope, Larys was when Alicent took her grieving grandmother bath? Inquiring minds have surely pondered this.
I mean, Joe, a Laris question. You got to
Yeah.
get in here. So where was Laris when Allison took her bath? So I think the implication behind the question, I don't want to presume, but I think was he like in the corner watching and wanking?
Was he jacking it
Yeah.
somewhere? There have been a lot
Getting
of
a little
shots.
toe glimpse.
There have been a lot of shots both last season and this season,
It's
like
a small
through
bath. Like the toes are
through
probably
through a trellis, through a
Yeah.
screen, something like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of passageways.
a foot propped over the edge.
Yeah.
For Laris.
Who could resist?
I just think he goes straight Barry Keoghan with the bathwater afterwards, Saltburn style. Oh, that grossed you out? Like,
I don't think so, because that would indicate actual like desire, right, and longing. And this
Right,
is-
according to the
this is-
showrunner, he doesn't
He's a
actually.
power.
Yeah, he's like power he has over her. So I think he would rather just like creep on her and know that he has
He probably
that
likes
access.
the fact that she had to kick out all of her handmaidens because she knows that he's in control. He's
like, wow, they cleared up the straight view to the bath now. No handmaiden.
oh yeah, they were probably like
Yeah,
get that
blocking the view.
the foot eye view there. The Westerosi Olympics are also this summer. Who is skyrocketing to stardom, a la Michael Phelps, and which of the Seven Kingdoms is taking home the most medals?
boy.
I don't know if you saw Aemon Targaryen curled up like a little chicken wing.
Yeah. Yeah. Gymnastics?
That
You
guy
think
is-
gymnastics?
Is lean and mean. And
Really want to
ready.
know what his macros are. Unbelievable.
Yeah, he's a lean, mean fighting machine.
Yeah.
Like I think it's Aemon's year.
What are his events? What's he competing in? We like track and field?
Discus.
What do you fucking got?
Yeah.
What can't that guy do?
Everything.
Archery probably because of
Decathlon.
the one.
Decathlon?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's consuming a lot of milk, so.
And in archery, he's already got the one eye like
No,
nailed.
but
Like,
don't you
know.
need like the depth perception? I don't know. Anyway, I think Aemon's our champ. But in
Okay.
terms of like which region is taking home the most
Yeah.
gold, either the Summer Olympics,
Yeah.
Riverlands,
Oh, yeah.
water sports, right?
Not a ton. Is there a ton of water sports?
Swimming.
Yeah, sure. Oh, swimming. Yeah. I thought for some reason I immediately was like
Swimming.
boating. I don't know. Like, I mean,
Yachting.
Yeah.
Who's gonna win the yachting Olympics?
what would your Zillow listing for Dragonstone be like?
Oh, man. I mean, you're the one shitting on Dragonstone. How would you polish that up on the old Redfin?
Scenic, seaside, fixer-upper.
Yeah. Breezy.
Lots
airy.
of room to improve, looking for a motivated investor. And then you flip it. You just go in there, you chip in Joanna, you put like gray paint on the walls.
No relation. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Dragonstone needs is gray paint on the walls. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Open
No,
it up,
that
get
like the millennial gray flooring is what you mean.
open floor plan.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Floor
High
plan.
ceilings?
Yeah.
That's right.
Open floor
A lot
plan,
of
high
natural
ceilings,
light.
natural light, but also like a low
Security
light?
issues.
This one I really like because it speaks
Thanks,
to.
Arik.
Room for pets.
That's true.
That's right. That's right.
This one really speaks to some of the places that this show can still iterate and invent stuff, even though we've got these historical texts that we're working off of. In consideration of the different narrator perspectives from the book Fire and Blood, which creative liberties will you take for future episodes, or would you allow for future episodes? So some of it is the recollection of this cat, Mushroom, don't know about him.
Love Mushroom.
Or would it be a blend of different perspectives? And also some follow-ups. Will the show follow closely to the plot? Yeah, what do you think of that?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of room for them to experiment with what actually happened. I misinterpreted this question when we were thinking about it earlier. And I like the idea of doing like a super weird episode
Yeah.
of House of the Dragon. Like, again, if we're in certain people's perspectives, I don't want to invoke Rashomon when another show just recently invoked Rashomon not very well, but we could see the same event from different perspectives. I think
like
that would be
modern
really
day
fun.
classic, The Affair.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, he knows.
I mean, I know. I just don't approve of it.
Great structure.
I do think that there's room for them to have moments that like exist in the margins of the history of the realm, but aren't necessarily like this will cause huge ripple effects.
Right. What was going on at the Marriott
Yeah,
at the time?
exactly.
Got it,
Right?
okay.
yeah, absolutely. Are you familiar with Mushroom?
Yeah. I mean, like, I know he's like he's the historian, right?
His account is one of the three primary accounts that fuels
But he
Fire and
wasn't a
Blood.
historian. He was just offering
No,
his
he's
account.
Rhaenyra's fool.
He's a
who
real little sicko.
routinely, and I mean routinely, invokes the size of his member.
Yeah.
And one of the best, because you'll hear from some people, oh, Fire and Blood, it's a little dry. That's also one of the things that's great for an adaptation, right? You can like imbue it with all of the narrative poetry.
Let's put it this way: if we're up to Mushroom, Mallory definitely wouldn't have gotten her animalistic fucking scene between
Exactly.
Kristen and Allison.
Mushroom is always there with the sordid account.
Yeah.
And one of the best recurring bits in Fire and Blood is that there will be like some very serious, very dour, very grim circumstance, and then Mushroom comes in and he's like, let me tell you how this character taught this character how to pleasure a man with her mouth. To just use one actual example from the text. Damon and Rhaenyra. And then every time, basically, that a Mushroom account is presented, there's a parenthetical that says Mushroom, who was not there.
Right.
Like every time.
He's just the best.
He's just simply
That's what
the
this
best.
book is?
Yes, you should read it.
It's the best. It's great.
I thought this guy was like David McCullough. I thought he was like, and then in this year this happened. No? Okay.
No, Mushroom's like, and then they fucked.
Alrighty.
Essentially.
Last question. This comes from Max and Emily, who came all the way from Seattle to be here tonight. So thanks so much. Which couple from House of the Dragon or Game of Thrones would you want to be a third with?
Oh my.
I have no problem saying Jamie Cersei.
I actually also think I'm gonna pick Jamie Cersei.
Because I obviously
Yeah.
Cersei's a lovely woman,
let
but
me ask
then me
this.
and Jamie could talk about shot caller the entire time.
Jamie and Bran.
Well, but okay, is it once? Or for like, are we
that's
going
not-
for like
it's
a
not
Are we
specified.
doing it up against the casket of their dead child, or what's happening?
Well, that would not be the scene that I would choose to repeat. No. But is this like we're looking to get into a relationship? We want something that's like
Well,
sustainable and
let's ask.
viable.
You guys are right there. Is this a long-term commitment?
Because then
or
I would go.
Oh, yeah,
Jamie
is this
and
like a
Bran.
one night
throuple?
only, or
A full throuple.
full throuple.
Throuple.
Jamie and
All right,
Bran.
then yeah, I think I go Jamie and Bran, not Jamie Cersei. Then obviously Jamie is involved.
you can stick with your answer. It's okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I wind up into rubble, though. You know, I've won a little bit of long
Yeah,
term.
but isn't that where life is leading
Yeah,
all of
sure.
us to the rubble?
That's true.
Dying in the arms of
Did
the
you pick
woman
one?
and the man.
Jamie
that
and
you
Bran.
love.
Jamie and Bran.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
Yeah.
coming out.
You fucking sicko.
Why do you think I came all this way?
Thank you so much for coming out.
Chris the
Thank
magnanimous. Thank you.
Mallory Rubin, Joanna Robinson. I'm Chris Ryan. You can listen to us watch us talking about House of the Dragon every Sunday on the Ringerverse YouTube channel. I mean, you know all this because you're here. It's also House of the R.
House of the R,
Uh,
yeah.
and then the watch. We'll talk about House of the
What's
Dragon.
the watch?
Thank you so much for coming out and have a great night.
Thank you.